Welcome to the girls. We have another exciting show for you today, don't we, Nina?
Yes, we're going to be counting on today's show.
Counting. Do you know how to count?
Only to 10.
Only to 10. Well, that's all you need,
fingers.
really.
There you go.
Well, you have 10 toes. You could count up to 20.
Oh, there. I can count to 20 now.
All right. Well, anyhow, our special guest today has been with us before, Reverend Robyne Marie, and she is a star medium. Now, what's the difference between a star medium and a regular medium? You're going to find that out. What can you do with numbers? You're going to find that out. But first of all, I love to walk. It's so relaxing.
We had a good time.
Yeah, we really did, and we talked about a lot of things, and we talked about the kids. We took the kids different places, and they even came on the walk with us. How about the selfie that night with Dad? We finally drugged my husband out on a walk.
And the dog.
And the dog.
Drug Gucci. It's hysterical if you have a Bichon. They're probably the laziest animals.
Well, their feet don't like to hit the cement. They're just used to lying on a couch. You know.
He went around, I don't know what was harder to get off the couch, Dad or Gucci. They were both looking at each other like, do you want to go? I don't want to go. Let's stay home.
Oh, they're using the walk word.
So we did that. But my son's on a traveling baseball team. Mason, and he was on the Ducks. So we went to baseball games all summer, and Alyssa and I, of course, we just did the shopping.
Mosquito bites.
Yeah, the mosquito bites. Yeah. But we did some shopping and had some fun. So back to school, the Three Musketeers in the picture with the first day of school. Everyone, I enjoyed seeing all of your back to school pictures. And as we head into, this fall season and we're getting back to our fall schedules, I might look a little tired because we're
what time,
in the earlier schedules, and I know a lot of you get up way earlier than I get up, but it's just, a different schedule. So you're on a different schedule, getting up early, staying up late. You have the homework and all that fun stuff to do. So it's been fun.
Been there, done that. Now we have the 3 grandkids doing it. We have them in 5th and 6th grade. Yeah. I can't believe that Holy Family. So they're doing great.
Yes.
And but what's on the agenda for you now? Where are you going? Because you're always going somewhere. Where's the next trip?
Oh, well, my girlfriend Justine is going to be 40, and so we're planning a trip. Either we're going to do the Hershey Spa, we're going to do Baltimore. We're gonna.
Well, she's turning 40, but you're going.
Well, I have to support her. She supported me.
It's always time to go somewhere.
So we're going traveling.
I have your 40licious little tiara here that we presented on the last show because, of course, you're 40licious, and just because you're 40 doesn't mean you can't be fabulous.
We're gonna find out what 4s mean when it deals with your birthday or your address. And our guest, she's so interesting, and I love that we're going to be able to play along at home. If you're watching and you're thinking about maybe bad things are happening to you time and time again, there's something you can do to maybe adjust your sales, and it might have to do with your name, it might have to do with where you live, it might have to do with your birthday. We're going to talk about.
So I'm going to move and change my name.
All right, there you go.
I don't know. We're going to find out from Robyne. Well, I'm getting anxious to talk with Robyne, so I know everybody out there has questions for her. If you want to visit us anytime online, you can watch all of our shows. You can go back and watch us from the beginning and catch Robyne on our previous shows. You could go to ssptv.com and watch us online. You can watch us on your phone. You can watch us on your computer.
All right, well, let's get to the show. When we come back, our guest is with us, Reverend Robyne Marie, here on The Girls.
Welcome back to The Girls, and as promised, we have a very exciting show. We have Reverend Robyne Marie. She is a star medium, and if you missed part 1, you're going to be still thrilled with this part. You can always go online at ssptv.com and pick up the shows anytime and watch at your convenience on your phone. Any screen you have, you can watch us. Anyhow, we have so much to ask you, Robyne. We're so glad to have you back again.
Thank you.
Know, oh, you're welcome, honey. We have so many different kinds of questions because of so many people asking us questions on Facebook as well. First of all, besides a normal reading, that I'm going to say normal reading, I never really had one, but I know of a reading to be tarot cards or crystal ball or whatever it is portrayed on television. But in fact, how many different kinds of readings are there? I mean,
Oh, it's endless. These are just considered divining tools. But my working in Salem, it's very demanding. And we read for people, thousands of them all over the world. So we have to be prepared to use any of those divining tools. Because some people come to us and say they want tarot cards done. Or they maybe want runes, which are, you know, stones or pieces of wood with letters and symbols on them. Some want a regular reading, which is a gypsy reading with regular playing cards. It's not tarot. So I can do that as well. So we have to know all those different divining tools, crystal ball, crystals, and such.
One thing we haven't talked about is numerology.
Yes.
On our show with you. And that's really what we're going to focus on today, right?
Yes. Numerology is a favorite divining tool, if you will, of mine. It's a certain theory that comes from the Kabbalah. So this goes back to the ancient Chaldeans that come from the Bible, from the Old Testament. As far as the Hebrew culture and you know, religious beliefs and all of that, that they were able to take the information from the Bible and they created the Kabbalah from that, from the ancient Chaldeans. And so in the Kabbalah, which is the Hebrew book of mysticism, which Catholics would believe in as well, so it's all very spiritual, so everybody can practice this. It has a science to it, and it goes back to the Egyptian days, and probably to the beginning of time where mathematics were used. And we look at astrology, and numbers and calculations are used, you know, within the stars to figure things out about us, our personality traits, our path in life, and all of that from astrological signs. But that again is all mathematics. The tarot cards are numbers, so that comes from it as well. But numerology is all woven within that. So we can take any number associated with us in our lives, from our birthday, our address, even our name. Every letter has a number that coincides with it. There's like an alphabet that's created numerically. So we can change our names, we can change our address. That will put us on a different path. Every number has a different vibration.
All right, let's play.
I was just going to say, can we do it
What's nice
now?
is everybody
Let's
at home
play.
can learn this and do it themselves.
Okay, so what do
all
they need
right.
to do at home to learn from this? Do they need to write their name
the
out?
most common thing, the strongest vibration that you have is the number of the actual day that you were born.
Okay.
We look at your full birthday, the total birthday, that's the year, the month, and the day. You can add that together, and that tells you how the universe receives you, what you're handed.
All right, well, tell her your birthday.
So just give me the day that you were born.
4.
On the 4th. Okay. That's a beautiful one. Let's do yours.
The 5th.
That's a very special one.
I'm
So
special.
the 5th, a 4 and a 5. Okay. Yours is very, very, very special one. Okay. Every number, think of yin and yang. It's balance. So we have good traits and we have negative traits. Doesn't mean we're bad people necessarily, but there's always things that we are here to learn. There's lessons. So we had to experience negative things in this lifetime or bring them from past lifetimes so we can move forward spiritually. So everything has to be balanced. So we do believe in reincarnation within numerology because you have to keep coming back to get it right. We can't do it all in one lifetime. So we come back in different numbers, okay? The 5, that's intellectual growth,
Okay.
okay? Highly analytical. Now that I did photo scrying last year and your grandfather was telling me about you, now I understand,
That's so
okay?
funny.
And he had you pegged.
He does. Good job, Pop.
Okay?
Or pop,
and that's all
wherever.
right. That's who you are.
Right.
But it's balancing it. You don't want to overanalyze things that you're nitpicking all the time. It can also drive you crazy in love because you want everything to be perfect, everything just set just so, and you have an impression within your head of where you want to go and who you want or how you want them to act. You're beating yourself up doing that, okay? Not to pick on you. We all, as I said, we
No,
all
that's
have our
great.
things that we're learning.
Is that right?
So in knowing
High
that,
fives.
if I did a reading for you and I tell you this is a thing that's going to haunt you, then you know to kind of keep yourself in check next time. Lighten up. And it's funny because that's what your grandfather said in spirit.
Let the kids eat that junk food. That's what he's
right.
saying.
It's
right?
okay to have an occasional ice cream.
All right, 4.
Okay, number 4.
The 4 is a guardian angel.
I'm a guardian angel, or I have
Yes,
one?
you are.
I'm a guardian
Not
angel.
because I like you, okay? It really is a very, very special and challenging birthday because you will have to be put in a setting that you're able to save people.
Story of her life.
So you will be around people that are drug addicts, alcoholics, obsessive compulsive, illnesses. We get into elderly people, you're going to be faced with those challenges. So it's not what's going on with you, actually. You could actually become that. You could have addictive personality, so it puts you in that setting that you're able to help somebody that has addictions, okay? You could have been ill in life, so you would wind up in a hospital setting where somebody's ill and you're able to help them. But it's going to repeat all through your life. And you chose that before coming here because you needed to learn that and again to balance who you are. That's your karma is a combination of all these numbers. So in this lifetime you need the 4.
That is so
And
interesting.
how about the year that we're born, or our name? What does our name say?
The name, that's called Gematria, and we'd actually have to do another show on that. I'm inviting myself back again, because Gematria is the alphabet, and every letter has a number that coincides with it. And so we add that. So the easiest thing to do is, let's say your name is Elizabeth, and a lot of people have different nicknames, Beth, Betty, Lizzie, all these things can come from Elizabeth. Maybe your life's not going too well. So I'll tell you, maybe you want to stop being called Beth. Or maybe you should, if you're called Betty, maybe you want to use Elizabeth, your whole name. And it changes the numbers, which changes the vibration in your life, and you'll see things change. Shift.
Interesting.
We got the good vibrations right now. Maybe we should go to break real
Well, stop analyzing everything. Let's
How
take
about
a
it?
break and have a drink.
Oh, you're my guardian
Oh,
angel.
okay, I'll watch over you. Okay, guys, well, stay tuned because when we come back, we're going to learn more from Robyne Marie.
Hey friends, you're watching the girls here on SSP TV, and we are with Reverend Robyne Marie, and she is a star medium, and today we're focusing our attention on numerology and what your birth date says about you, what your address says about you, what your name says about you, and this, you could play along at home. It's really interesting, Robyne, to learn about what your birthday, could mean about you. And we talked about single digits because we're both single digits, but my son is a 10 and my daughter's a 23. So anyone out there with double digits for the day of their birthday, how do they figure out what number they are?
Well, I want to tell the general public so they can play along and study more at home about this, is to take double numbers or even triple numbers and you keep reducing it until it comes to a single number. Just keep adding it. So if you're taking your full birthday, as I said before, it was the month, the day, the month, and the year. So you're adding a whole line of numbers, but keep reducing it to bring it to a single number. And that's what you are. Now, if you're born on 2 particular days, it is important to take into factors about a double-digit number, and that is what we call a compound number. So that's the 11th and the 22nd. Okay? That changes things. That means you're a master.
You're a master.
Yes.
Master.
So different traits, other traits that you have, you're mastering them in this lifetime. So you're not going to have to repeat that over again.
While we're on that double digit, and maybe this is irrelevant, does it mean something when you see 1111?
Everybody asks me that.
Oh, really?
It's just that it really stands out. So we look at the psychological factor of that. You know, some psychics will say it's very mystical, and the thing is, you know, a 1 and a 1, that's a 2. It really doesn't mean anything,
So
you know, during
that
your
means
day.
nothing. Okay.
It's just that it sticks with you psychologically when you see it. A lot of people also get upset because they woke up at 9/11.
Oh, because of
And
9/11, what it
chills them,
relates to.
and then they start always seeing 9/11 on the clock. But psychologically, that sticks out. We look at the clock all day long. We look at our watches all day long. And we wake up at all different times. But when you see that, it kind of alerts you.
That's how people pick the lottery numbers sometimes. Do people ask you if you could pick the lottery numbers?
Yes, and we're not supposed to use our abilities for that.
For that kind of game.
So, yeah. These are parlor games, so.
What about reading your horoscope every day, or people who are really into, you know, reading that and fortune cookies and all that kind of
I
thing?
keep bags of fortune cookies. I give them to clients when I'm out at conventions.
Really? That's
so
neat.
it's something happy. It's something positive, and you stop and, you know, just I haven't liked a few of the fortune cookies I've gotten lately, so they're not as creative as they used to be. But it's something happy. It's something fun. Take it that way.
It's almost as if someone sees you in a grocery store and says, "Hi, your hair really looks nice today." Is it sort of
And
like a
that's
little thing
it.
like that, a little pick-me-up?
That's all it is.
Okay. But now, when you were talking about numbers before, first you asked my birthday, which is 4.
Yes.
But then you said about the entire birthday, 1, 4, 54. You have to add those numbers all
Yes.
together? The entire year, 1954?
Yes,
or
the whole thing.
So you go through and add it all and reduce it down.
Yes.
And then if it's a different number than the actual 4 that I...
That's what the universe gives to you.
Oh, okay.
So that's how people perceive you. That's some things that are going to come your way. So
So mine added all together is 22.
22. So
So you
add it
take that
again.
down, it comes
That's
to
a
a 4.
4.
It's still back to a 4.
Yes.
I'm a 4.
So you're very much a
I'm
guardian
4
angel.
on the floor.
So you're saving lives time and time again.
Oh, and your background's nursing. All you 4s out there, thank you.
My sister-in-law always calls me the corrector, the protector, the fixer. You know, it just seems like that's
your
my job
role.
in my
I don't
family.
know if you told me before, but I didn't remember that. And it's funny, I chose a story to tell you about a nurse and her reading.
No, I never told you that I was a nurse. I don't believe so. I can't remember
I don't
really.
think so.
Of all the things I lost, Robin, I miss my mind the most. Can you help me find it? Oh, I don't know where it is.
Do we talk about addresses yet?
No, I don't think we spoke.
Addresses.
Play with numbers in your life. Look at your phone number, your address. There's people that come to me for readings all the time that say, you know, we just moved into a new house, and ever since I got there, tragedy has happened. We've been sick, there's been accidents, there's been this and that. First house I ever lived in, that happened, all horrific things to my whole family. Once we moved, things changed. Okay? Not everybody's at liberty to make a move if something's going wrong, but look at the address. And that number changed. So that's the vibration that's around your family and your household that changed.
Well, how can people find out more about this? Everyone is at home and they're saying, well, I have so many things I want to ask you and so many things I want to know about, and I have numbers too. And did you write a book about this? Should people just call you and ask you for a reading?
It will be part of my new book that's coming out, Love to Bewitch You. Of course, bewitching. But they can look things up online. Of course, you know, I'm not pushing my business necessarily, but they can look up. And in fact, Linda Goodman, I highly recommend reading. You know, her books on numerology. She was an expert in that, and astrology as well. It kind of coincides with one another. But you can look up the numbers, play with your birthday, look at your phone number and your address, and start looking at why things are happening in your life. And I'd love to do Gematria sometime because we can change our name or alter our name somehow. Certainly when women get married, they take another last name and they say, you know, how much their life had changed after marriage, good, bad, or otherwise. And sometimes maybe you need to hyphenate it, I'll suggest to them, because it's going to change it.
So should people be doing this for fun, all of this, or
Have fun with it.
Okay.
Okay, enjoy it. And look at some of the different traits, as I said, good, positive and negative, just like yin and yang. If something's not working for you, change the number, change the vibration. If you're having a pattern of things going on in your life, you can understand why. Like, your face was moving when I was telling you about certain types of people that will gravitate to you, because I think I was right on with that. That number fits you. And it starts to make sense why things are happening. I wanted to tell you about children, too. Look at your children's birthdays. Why has that little person come into my life? Even pets, you got them on a certain day. Why was it a good fit? That was a good day for you to pick out a pet.
Okay, here's a question for you. Why do people have twins? Why are two people brought at one time?
Yeah, that's fascinating. And we can look further because obviously two twins, as you're a twin, that they're different from each other.
Well, first of all, they're a boy and a girl.
That's
a
okay,
big difference.
but they have
There's
the
one
same
different.
birthday. So that's why we look at the numbers in their names. That's going to make them different. If you go into astrology, they always ask what time you were born. We can do that with numerology as well. Whoever was first, these are different factors.
Right, so 710 and 714 are going to make a big difference in their personality.
It comes out to a different number.
Isn't that
so
something?
it gives you a little different path.
We quickly want to mention, Robyne, your movie that you just finished.
Yes.
Talk about that.
This is Ghosts of Fire, and this is about a modern-day ghost town here in Pennsylvania known as Centralia. So I had actually released my first documentary, a paranormal documentary, back in 2010, and it showed in independent cinemas, film competitions and such, and then went to DVD. So now we have a lot of confirmation on things that I found in part one in Centralia. And we were chasing the Molly Maguires, which is a big thing. And we got into the coal mining history, and I was connecting with those spirits and their families' histories and everything. And I just found that fascinating because that's the furthest thing from my life. So
where can we find the movie?
So this is part two. It's going to be released probably at St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, so
next year
we'll be able to see your movie.
Yes.
And she'll probably be back on by then.
Oh yes, I'm sure they will, because my phone's been buzzing away over here already ever since you're on. So I'm sure we have so many questions. Well, thank you so much for enlightening not only us, but also our audience about what a real medium is. I know some people see them on television and really wonder how much is hype, how much is trickery, how much is known beforehand. So you've enlightened us. I hope we've enlightened the audience as well. Janine, it was your first time meeting Robyne. What do you think?
Yes, she's a keeper. She'll be back on.
Thank you. I like you too.
Well, thanks for joining us. I hope that you join us again on The Girls.